We're going to be talking about lists. Lists are a real common type of view in many mobile applications. And here we're going to be able to create lists that are fairly similar to the lists that you can create natively in iOS and Android with jQuery Mobile. So what I've got here is I've created a page and I've got all of the necessary links to the jQuery library, and I've created an unordered list of states. So with our unordered list of states, let's go ahead and just take a look at how it looks in the browser normally. Go ahead and use Chrome again, and there you go. Nothing terribly exciting. It's an unordered list of states. But when I add just a little bit of the jQuery code, it makes a big difference as far as how it looks. So here on the unordered list, I'm going to take the data role and make that list view. Just like that. And now let's refresh. And now we've got a list that's formatted just like that. So it looks like a list that you would develop, I think, in other parts, natively with the iOS, natively with iOS or Android. So now, if we want to make it clickable, all we've got to do is wrap the elements of the list like this. So let's say href equals, I'll just put pound for now, because it's really not going anywhere. And then our closing anchor tag, just like that. Let's do the first bunch here. So we'll get Alaska, Arizona. We'll go do this all the way down to my home state of Connecticut. And we'll get Delaware too, just for good measure. And of course, then we need the closing anchor tags. So we've now made all of these. Oops, let's go back up here. We've made all of these clickable. And believe it or not, jQuery Mobile is going to react to these a little bit differently. I know watching me correct that error is really interesting. All right, so there we go. So let's save, and let's take a look at this in the browser. And now notice all of these get the gray background on the mouse over, and of course wouldn't occur on a touch device, but they all become clickable, and you see it gives it the little icon there indicating that they're clickable. So that's just one thing you can do with this particular list. Now let's also add a filter. So here in the UL for the list view, we're going to add data filter equals true. That'll give us the filter. If you're not sure what a filter is, just wait a second. You'll see data filter placeholder. We're going to do search states. And I'm going to set data inset to true, which will simply make this an inset list. All right, so boom. And you can see it's got now the circle around it. That means it's inset. Let's search. So notice as I put different values here, different states get eliminated according to the filter. So if we did Z, we're not going to, we get Arizona because it's got a Z in it. Let's do WIS, and there's Wisconsin. So the filter is pretty neat, especially since we didn't have to do any coding to get the filter to work, right? All we did was add the necessary attributes and values here to the UL tag, and we've got a filter. And that would take quite a bit of programming to do that. Now let's also add, just for organization's sake here, dividers. We're going to divide up our dividers. Now we can do this manually, but we also can do it automatically. And I'm going to do that by adding data auto dividers. Auto dividers equals true. And what that'll do is add these nice dividers throughout our list without us having to do anything. Again, if we had to hand code that, it would take quite a bit of time. But doing it this way using the auto divider is very, very easy. There's a number of other things we can do with lists, like add thumbnails or split buttons. So this is just kind of the scratching the surface of what we can do with lists using